Well, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Ray Triggs, moderator. Y'all, I was thinking long and hard on if I was gonna if I was gonna come to y'all this morning. Case in point, it's because I was just now trying to catch up with a couple of things that I missed last night, y'all. And I still really have not gotten to the bulk of what I think happened. So this is what I'm gonna say. So in the middle of the night, y'all, I woke up a couple of times and I saw Pizarro was live. I saw she had a panel over there. Then I went back to sleep. Only for me to wake up this morning trying to red ball to see what happened. And it looked like Lemon had almost a 9 hour live. 9 hours. See, that be the problem with the people when they have long ass lives like that. Because how do you get through it in order to see what happened so you can pinpoint some notes to the people? I think once upon a time when Lemon had that man Ron P as his moderator, Ron P would actually break that stuff down. But like in the real being realistic, how does one break down a live with timestamps alive that long? That's like 9 hours. Based on what I heard, though, Lemon has been in a dilemma because he is being forced to change the rules of his channel. I guess he is being forced to change the rules of his channel for Little Butt Week, which it seemed like every day Lemon get a new rule over there. Every day it's a new rule in order to appease Butt Week because Butt Week is dissatisfied with how things are going. And the funny thing is, for all of the people that have been longtime supporters of Lemon, and they had issues with how his platform was running, specifically women, he didn't give a damn. You could say, hey, Lemon, well, I don't like for them to talk about this, that, and the third. He didn't care. He wasn't changing no rule. But now that Buckwheat is the one that's over there with all of these things, now he's changing it. And based on what I was able to gather from the content that I was trying to get through, Buckwheat has said that he wants there to be a no domestic violence rule, a no kids rule, and I guess it still has to be at least $30 before somebody to drop off the panel. The most hilarious part about these strange ass rules that he over there trying to implement, though, is how in the hell you have a full panel of at least 10 people and you putting people on the panel that don't get along. Again, I just saw Room Shaker, 88, Buckwheat, and then Ken, Sonny, and Krista all on the same panel. They don't get along. How do you expect to keep order or have order on the show if you continue to put the people around people that they don't like? But I think the craziest part about his rule is because there was some disagreement happening and somebody, I don't know who said it, but I do know it was said that somebody would punch somebody's teeth in, right? A man on the panel said that they will punch a woman's teeth in. And Lemon said, no, no, no. I said no domestic violence. Follow my rules. Wait a second. So now people, first off, they always have had fights over there where they threaten violence and threatening all types of stuff against each other. But now, a man threatening a woman to limit is considered domestic violence, so he tried to shut it down. Why wasn't that just the common thing to do to begin with? Why did these rules have to be implemented in order for him to understand that a man threatening to punch a woman's teeth in is wrong? Meanwhile, he's had men on that panel that threatened to piss in a woman's mouth. Did y'all forget? Did y'all forget when Billy Goat Rock first came and Billy Goat Rock threatened to piss in Lady Snoop's mouth? And Lemon let that stand. Lemon didn't have a problem with that being said. I guess that didn't sound like domestic violence to him, so he didn't really correct it. When Billy Goat Rock made threats towards Let's Be Honest, when Let's Be Honest used to go over there. Hell, when Billy Goat Rock used to make threats to me, was that considered domestic violence? And why wasn't it nipped in the bud? Why did it now take Lil Buckwheat being so sensitive about the situation that his mama went through that now Lemon is trying to put his foot down about the rules? See, that's the problem. Because it's almost like when you think about him dropping and changing his rules just like that, I don't know that the term male identified applies there, but something applies there. In a scenario like that, where you are changing the rules for a man, something applies. As long as a woman was feeling uncomfortable with what a man has been saying to her over the course of years, it wasn't worth the rules change. But now that a man feels uncomfortable with what is being said to him, now the rules have been changed. Then it led me back to that. I don't know if I want to call it theatrics or a performance from yesterday, but that was very telling. And that really just goes to show where we are in this particular sector, but I think just as a whole, because for me to honestly see the audience sitting back with bated breath, watching Dog Killer News get on there with this. First off, if you don't notice, when he first came on, the music that he played and kind of how he was dancing and smugly laughing in the camera, it was like he didn't give a fuck. Let's start there. But this was the apology video. We can't forget. When he came on the camera, I'm not sure if that was just an awkward, like embarrassed type of reaction, you know, dancing to these songs, or I don't know. But eventually, once he got to talking to get into the bulk of his, I guess, apology, you know, everybody, like I said, they waited with bated breath, almost as if everybody was just looking. I don't know. It was just a bit much, but just the fact that it was a big deal made about this man apologizing while this other man still ain't got no job. And I'm just like, whoa. Some things are not fixed with an apology. Some things are just not fixed with a single I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh, wow. And then still the dog is still put up. Now, I heard him saying that the dog is not about to be euthanized. But of course, it would be in his best interest to come out here and say that the dog is not going to be euthanized. I did get the information to where the dog was. And I gave a couple of phone calls yesterday. But it was weird because it must have been the time of day that I had called. Well, first off, I encountered 3 obstacles when I called to try to get an actual status on the dog so that I could be very accurate for y'all. The first obstacle is that there seems to be 3 different locations because this is New York City, of course. The location where I thought that the dog would be, just based on the information that I was given, they said that location was temporarily closed. And that's why I'm like, temporarily closed? I said, wait a second. I said, this is the location that would be closest to where Rico is. How can it be temporarily closed? And I'm like, well, then does that mean that they had took the dog across the city? So then I tried the other 2 locations. And like I said, I think it's because maybe it was because of the time of day. Because I did get through, it rang and rang, but there was no answer. There was an offer to leave a voicemail, but I didn't leave a voicemail. I honestly just wanted to inquire and ask some questions to get to the heart about the dog. And this is another thing, what came to my mind when he was there trying to assure us that the dog is not about to be euthanized or that the dog has not been euthanized yet. When he wanted to prove to us that he had the power to get this dog removed, didn't he call the number right there online in front of us? So now that people are wanting proof that the dog has not been put down prematurely or been put down euthanized due to his actions and the error in his ways, he can't call to get a verification of that so that we could hear that. I mean, he thought that it was necessary for him to call online so that we could hear him filing these reports and getting the dog taken away. Finally, it has been said that he could have handled it differently. Well, duh. In my commentary previously, y'all, I had been telling y'all I had talked to and heard from a few different people, and absolutely nobody was happy with what he did. And even with me coming and reporting to y'all that true, real information, we had Lippy Hippie go to her platform and try to discredit what I was saying, only for him to turn around and do that theatric production yesterday and confirm exactly what I was saying. Everybody was upset. Most people were upset. I would say about 98% of the folks were upset, especially the folks that I talked to, because I on purpose tried to put myself in different spaces so that I could gather the information, because I really wanted to know. How do you feel about this? What you think about this? Do you think this was dead ass wrong? Just the fact that he had to come out and grovel in the way that he did is actual proof that there was unanimous disapproval of his actions. But again, for him to say if he should have called, he would have handled it differently. He should have sent $1 cash out to get a phone number. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. And then for him to blame the beef sector and say it was the beef sector that made this come over him to where he thought he had something to prove. And it's just like, really? Jamie Brown said, "Oh, he was arrogant yesterday." Right, right. But it's like, how, now you blaming the beef sector because you didn't do something that anybody would have done, was just pick up the phone and call, or send a $1 cash app to ask for the new phone number or whatever. I mean, it's so many different ways this could have went. And now that you done fucked up this man's life, then now you just there with an apology. But an apology ain't gonna get the man his job back. An apology ain't gonna get the dog back. Again, I demand that he call on live just like he did before to prove that there is still life with the dog, to prove that the dog has not been put down. Because I'm not convinced currently. I'm not convinced. Rico would know more about. Good morning, Asia. Good morning, everybody. I see y'all scared to drop down this morning. That's interesting. Maybe y'all scared that he'll see y'all. Good morning, Latasha. Rico said that there was a certain amount of days, and even somebody else was saying that there were so many days that they would keep the dog. But he claims that the dog will stay alive as long as this proceeding happens. I don't know that I believe that. I don't know that I believe that. That just sounds like he was giving us an excuse because he knew that was something that the people wanted to hear. But again, just like he called to get the dog removed on live so that we can bear witness, call on live for us to hear that the dog is still okay. Call to let the people tell us that the dog is going to be alive throughout the duration of this thing. It just doesn't sound plausible. Good morning, Samba Queen. When you look at it, it's almost the aftermath of a terrible storm that just was an unnecessary storm that just didn't need to happen. I was in James's live when he was giving his point of view, and James had an interesting perspective. I looked at Fi Babe's live as well. Her perspective was interesting. I guess because I've been around observing everything for so long, I have a different perspective. Well, I still have my same stance. And sometimes I wonder if so much has happened over the years within this space of YouTube that people forget what happened. I have always had a pretty decent YouTube ship with Rico because, as I stated, and as y'all saw in that throwback that I played for y'all over the weekend, he partook in the HIV project and discussion that I had on my channel, which was successful. And after that discussion, we kept in touch from time to time through Instagram. And then eventually he ended up coming out here to I was about to say coming out here to New Orleans, coming out here to Atlanta. And I was in touch with him just in case, he needed my assistance. That was during the time with the ZT thing. So I've always been very friendly and cordial with Rico off of this application. I've always been watching him struggle. He's had a lot of struggles over the years trying to get his life together. But specifically, one of the things that made me view him much different that I don't know if people forgot about even though I doubt that they forgot, but I just know I haven't heard anybody mention. Good morning to Vashti. Jamie said James basically let him know to tread lightly. Yeah. But if you all remember that particular weekend when Rico's mama was visiting him and Rico's mama was doing these StreamYard tours and him and his mama was from panel to panel to panel. Y'all remember? When I heard his mama speak during those StreamYard tours, going from panel to panel to panel, it was in that moment that I developed a different understanding for Rico. And it was also during that time that I developed immense empathy for him. In that time, we really saw, we got it as much of a glimpse of his upbringing. And we got to see that based on his mama and his interaction with his mama. We got to see him and his mama interact. We got to hear his mama's thought process and the things that she felt and believed. We got to hear how she raised him to a certain degree. We got all of that type of confirmation during that time. Y'all, and that totally had made me feel differently about Rico. I have to be honest, but maybe people forgot. Just to know that he could go through that type of upbringing, and the fact that his mama was so young, and the fact that it was practically like they were raised together, it explained a lot, and it showed me that there were some things that he didn't learn because his mom was too young and dare I say it, immature to teach him. So that gave me a whole different look and perspective of Rico, in which I kind of had a better understanding of why he makes some of the choices that he makes and why he do the things that he do. Hell, his mama was barely a teenager when he was born. So how in the hell could she teach him anything? But anyway, I say all that to say that right there made me really root for Rico to rise above, because just based on the foundation in which he was given, it did not seem like he had the best solid foundation for success in life. And I'm just being honest. Only for him to start with such a disadvantage. With such a disadvantage, have all of these challenges and obstacles, which that's life. We all have challenges and obstacles. But have all of this, then finally get some type of footing over there up in New York. Only for this to happen. And for it to happen at the hands of somebody that he viewed as a friend. In Fi Babe's commentary last night, Fi Babe said she didn't even know that him and King Roman had met. But I've been telling y'all that they had met. They had met a couple of times, which is the reason why Rico did believe that there was a friendship there. Good morning, Hypnotic Touch. I saw outsiders from like different sectors, but specifically, I think it was the mayor of Detroit. He came on YouTube Camera's panel yesterday and he was kind of fussing at us, saying that we coddling Rico. We wasn't coddling Rico. We was trying to figure out where the dog was or what was going to happen with the dog. But it's funny because even though YouTube camera's entire show was primarily about dogs and having a love for dogs and all this. The man either only heard what he wanted to hear or he just didn't want to listen at all. Because he jumped up there then trying to accuse us of coddling Rico. Ain't nobody coddling Rico. And also, one thing too that came out in YouTube camera's commentary yesterday, which I think is good to note to y'all, is that she finally told a story which I had known for years now. It's the story that caused me and her to have a connection on this application as well as off this application. When I sit back and I think about how the people's like, oh, J.Dunn must got something over YouTube camera's head. She must got this over. She must be hanging something over that girl's head and all that. All of the stuff that y'all have speculated sounded so nefarious during the times and even right now, when the connection that we have wasn't based on anything nefarious at all. And yesterday, YouTube cameras finally came out and told her own story, which is great. And because she told her own story, now I can go ahead and chime in with my part of it. Had to have been, I don't know if it was 2022 or 2023, y'all. I just remember Zulu being a puppy, right? I can't remember why me and YouTube cameras was in communication. I don't know. I'm not sure why we were communicating at that particular time, but I do know that either I hit her up on Instagram or she hit me up to check on Zulu. And some kind of way, I was checking on her dog because she had a dog as well. Most people don't know. She did. She had a dog. And she informed me of her dog being really sick and her dog, needing some things to go on. This is what bonded me and YouTube cameras. Not no mess, not no drama, not no fake shit. Not because I got her information and I'm gonna dox you. I got your name, I got your phone number, none of that was the case. It was truly because her dog was sick. Her dog was older at the time, about 14, 15 years old. So an elder dog. And I had experience with an elder dog because my previous dog, KJ, went through his elderly phase and passed away in 2019. So when she was going through the motions with her own dog, that's what bonded us, because I was able to check with her about the dog. I think that was one of the first times that we actually spoke offline through the Instagram on the phone. Because there were certain symptoms and things going on with her older dog that she wasn't sure is stuff that would come with the age of the dog, or if it was something actually going wrong with the dog. And good morning, Tuddy. Good morning, Kimberly Black. Good morning to Tracy. Please like the video, everybody. So she was just going through with her dog and needing advice. And I would try to help her as best as I could based on my recollection and my memory of the things that KJ went through as he was older and possibly near death. That's truly how our YouTube ship, how our bond started. And when she went through this entire process, which was a very long process, her dog unfortunately passed away. I was the first person that YouTube cameras told when her dog passed away, y'all. And this is how you must see that when I have a level of care and respect about somebody, I won't tell their secret. Because me knowing that her dog passed away back then, I didn't dare tell her. So, number one, I knew that she was going through a lot because of it. And number two, I didn't dare want that information to come out for anybody to try to use that against her in a fight or anything. So this is to all of y'all motherfuckers that act like I can't keep a secret for people, please. But I must have a level of respect and concern. And I did. So yeah, when that happened and she was going through the steps without her dog, I had Zulu, and Zulu was a puppy doing puppy things. And from time to time, I would just check in. You okay? How you doing? How you feeling? Because I've gone through the loss of a dog when KJ died in 2019. So I knew the emotions that you go through when, you know, you are used to being with the dog every day for the last 14, 15 years. And now the dog passed away and your routine changes. But it goes to show the nature of this particular area of YouTube, because y'all would have swore it was something nefarious and just horrible, something that I knew, and oh, you hanging, you got something over her head, and no, bitch. We bonded because her dog was dying. That's what happened. So yeah, she was strong enough to tell her story yesterday, and I'm happy. So now y'all can shut the hell up about what I knew. That's what I knew. Good morning, VA Sagittarius. Good morning, everybody. And again, as many times as me and YouTube cameras disagree, did y'all ever at one time see me use that to get at her? No. But it really just goes to show how evil that y'all feel that I am when I'm really not. But I've always said that everybody is not privy to the other side of me, because not everybody is deserving of that side. YouTube cameras, in the moments that she was going through at that time, she was deserving of that side. And that's the reason why we have a different bond on here than most. But her telling her story is also the reason why. It's proof that there are true dog lovers out here. It's proof that we weren't discussing about this dog and whether or not the dog was going to get put down just to have content and commentary. No, it was a genuine concern, a genuine care. And Tracy, I'm actually happy you here, because I was red balling through lemons. Did you and Buckwheat fall out? Because when I was red balling through lemons, it looked like you and Buckwheat was going back and forth, Tracy. And when it appeared that y'all was falling out, or that y'all was cussing each other out or something, girl. And I was like, oh no, not Tracy. No, not you, girl. Girl, not you. I thought you loved him. See what I be talking about, Tracy? Oh, I love him. Hey, babes, I love him. And now you done fell out with that fool. Ain't that something? So Tracy said, he told me to shut up and called me a bitch. Tracy, I always knew that he had an issue with you, because remember, he got into it with you where he snapped off at you before. and told you not to come back to his channel and all that. That was his true intentions. That was his true feelings when he did that day. And then Tracy went and struck up a live over there up on her channel to get up in his ass. And he rushed over there to cop pleas to Tracy so that Tracy would not drag his ass. And Tracy, being forgiven, forgave him. But I never forgot that first time that they had first fell out. And I mean, it was something where he was just ready to jump on the bandwagon and drag Tracy for little to nothing. And she hadn't even did nothing wrong. Tracy said, he called me a bitch, but then he lied saying he didn't. Yeah, I'm going to have to catch up and see all of that. What was what, but I knew that you was going to come in, which that's one thing I do. I do appreciate your support because I can really bank on you to peek up in here in the mornings, no matter how early it is, you peek up in here. And that's why I wanted to wait to see you peek up in here, because I definitely didn't want to say, oh, they fell out, y'all, and then that not be true. So that's why I wanted to ask you to confirm. But like y'all, even now, Lil Buckwheat done went against Tracy. Meanwhile, Tracy done been like, J.Dunn, leave him alone. He's just a baby. He's just a baby, J.Dunn. He's so sweet, J.Dunn. I love him, J.Dunn. And now he over there disrespecting her. Child. But yeah, so okay, they done fell out. I don't know if that means that he gonna try to do commentary on Tracy to grow his channel or what. I don't know, because like I said, his live was entirely too long. But I did try to red bar through it to see what I could see. But anyway, back to the YouTube cameras part. So yes, that's that right there, that real life event is what made me and YouTube cameras bond. And no, we are not friends. But in that moment, there was something called humanity. Because I saw her going through a situation that I had already been through myself. When you have owned the pet for years and your pet passed away. So that's all it was. And it's crazy because me and YouTube cameras probably could have did a show and actually talked about the things going on with her pet at that time. But y'all so cutthroat on here. First off, us talking about the things about the pet, that probably wouldn't have interested y'all because it wasn't messy enough. It wasn't too much fighting and arguing and all that. So y'all wouldn't have gave a damn. But then not only that, it would have been people lurking around to use it against her. Which is why I'm happy that several years passed by before she finally revealed this herself, because now she is healed from it. She is healed from it. My biggest fear was that it would be known when she was still going through her grief stages of it, and then it could be used against her. But y'all, now about 2.5, maybe 3 years done passed by. So she is healed. She done went through her grieving. She done got that out. So she can't be harmed or touched by that particular story that she went through. So that's good. But that's one of the reasons as well why YouTube cameras, if people are being disrespectful to me, she will take my concerns seriously. It ain't because she's scared of me. No. It's because in the moment of time, in real life, we had humanity for one another. So, no, she ain't scared. She just respect me as a person. because she know me as a person more than y'all know me as a person on here. Y'all know me as a person on here that gotta fight y'all motherfuckers, which is, I think is very unnecessary to even have to do all that. But like I said, had we had a conversation about caring for elder dogs or something like that, y'all wouldn't have been interested. Y'all wouldn't have been interested. Some people do connect on human levels and y'all don't see it. But y'all don't have to see everything because everything ain't y'all's business. And the damn show ain't my business to tell until the person is ready. So with this thing that happened with this whole Rico situation, that compelled YouTube cameras to finally tell her story about what happened with her dog. And so I'm happy about that. Because I never would have told it. As many times as we fight, I never would use it against her up in a fight. No. So there's that. So hopefully now, with her revealing that, y'all can stop saying that she's scared of me. No. She just respects me as a human being, like y'all all should do. Like y'all all should do. Now, this apology thing that happened, y'all, I just honestly think I guess only time is going to tell how I truly feel about it because, like I said, some things you just can't apologize away. It goes back to what I was saying when we saw Rico's mama doing the panel tours that one time. It made me root for him, whether I was rooting for him silently or whether I rooted for him out loud. To me, it really showed me that he was disadvantaged from the start. And it really did make me reflect on my own life and my own upbringing and everything because some people are just disadvantaged from the start. Now, the reason why I said about my content being played with Billy G is because I want to stand in solidarity with Rico. Period. I heard people say, "Oh no, she just don't want Billie Jean to play the content because of Fifi and all this." I don't give no damn about no Fifi. Fifi don't have nothing to do with my content. I feel like this. Just the fact that he is up in this circumstance, I think the last thing that needs to be done is some content using his content for her to capitalize, for her to get cash outs, for her to get all this. Meanwhile, the boy is sitting there right now at the first of the month, unemployed. How crazy is it that today is August 1st and this man is unemployed because of some fuck shit? Because of some fuck shit. And that all it took was a video on camera and apology, but it's still the first of the month while all the bills are due. And the boy is sitting over there unemployed. Sometimes an apology just can't fix what has been done. Even Rico went live a couple of times yesterday, y'all, and it came out, and get this. Y'all gonna really get a kiki out of this. I can't wait to get the explanation about this later on today. Do y'all know that Rico came out and Rico was saying that Dog Killer News owed him money? Let me say that to y'all one more time. And please like my video. Because I'm about to tell y'all something here. Rico said that Dog Killer News owes him money, y'all. Rico was a judge. Do y'all remember the impersonation competition? I think it was the very first impersonation competition that was hosted over there. And I guess Rico and Lippy Hippie was judges for this particular competition. And yeah, please like my video, y'all. Please go ahead and get the likes up. Thank you. Rico and Lippy Hippie were judges for this competition. And I guess Rico was supposed to receive payment for his participation in this competition. And he never got any payment. Now, it ended up coming out in Pizarro's live in the chat. People were expressing that the reason why Rico never got payment for being a judge in that competition is because Dog Killer News had already felt that Rico owed him money from when he helped Rico move his stuff to the storage. I want y'all to check the parallel here and what I'm about to bring to y'all. Stay with me. Now, let's not forget the last Billie Jean production that we saw, which happened around the beginning of this year, if not the end of last year. That production happened because why? Because Sarah said that she didn't get paid her prize winnings from Lady Nika. And Lady Nika said, well, the reason why I didn't pay her the full amount is because she owed me. So I took some of what I was owed out of her winnings. And it was a whole Billie Jean production. Lady Nika a scammer. Why Lady Nika didn't pay Sarah her money. All of this. Only for us to find out that Dog Killer News did the same thing with Rico. He didn't pay Rico his judge's earnings because he felt like Rico already owed him money for helping him move stuff into the storage now. Pot, meat, kettle. When you think about that little detail right there, in hindsight, and you see how it was a big fuss and a huge deal about Sarah not getting her full earnings, but Lady Nika saying, well, I kept part of it because she owed me. But meanwhile, Rico never did get paid for being the judge because he kept part of it or kept it all because he felt Rico owed him. So you did the exact same thing as what Lady Nika did, but why in the hell it wasn't a whole big deal? And Rico actually said that he never came out here and said anything about it. I guess you could always depend on Rico to keep his mouth shut. Because he damn sure never did come running out here and telling it. But yeah, he said he was never paid. Now, I want to see how that's going to be cleaned up. On my community wall yesterday, I have shared the one video and I gave y'all the timestamp of 18 minutes and 50 seconds where the lie was told that Rico came on here yelling and screaming. Then underneath my comments area, I shared the actual real video that Rico did when he came on here after he found out about any calls about his dog. There was no yelling and screaming. And I'm just, when I heard that, in real time, I was like, you lying. This boy ain't never came here yelling and screaming at you at all. If anything, when I was in his live in real time, it sounded like he was about to cry. When Rico first addressed anything related to the dog and them people being called and that Roman did it, he did not come on here yelling, cussing, and screaming. He sounded like he was about to cry. But I said, oh, that's a good way to up the ante. That's a good way to manipulate the people. That's a good way to manipulate the people to make it seem like you were justified in the moves that you did, and you just wasn't. And everybody see it for what it really is. Good morning, Rhonda. Good morning, CMAC TV. Rhonda said, Rico said he paid him back for the storage already. And Rhonda said Rico was hurt about this. Rico was. But I just thought it was interesting how he started it off with a lie. Like Rico came here with some aggression. And no, he didn't. Here is the video. I just wonder if it took all of them people that's up in his chat, the crew messages, how many of them it took for him to come out here and do the right thing? Even though whatever that was that he did yesterday, I'm sure that it was heavily encouraged by them. And although it made for great dramatics, it ain't changed the thing. The dog's still gone. Rico still ain't got a job. James was doing his commentary. James was talking about people pocket watching. I would have to disagree with James. I don't necessarily think that it was pocket watching when it came to Brianna's commentary. I think it was truly just the facts of the matter that a man can call the authorities on somebody that was once his friend. Get the dog taken away, get him arrested, then he loses his job. Do all of that for a petty reason to then come on here and get rained upon for doing the right thing, for doing what should have been done, for having accountability. But it just seemed like a very, very dramatic, theatrical performance to me. But Brianna was just showing this is what you should have done. And the people showered this man for doing what he should have done. Meanwhile, the man that's still over there without a job is still over there without a job. Sometimes when I look at the things that happen on here, it is so sickening. It was one thing about ODS's a couple of nights ago that I forgot to tell y'all. Child, this is one of the reasons why I hate some of these newcomers that come, because now I'm on ODS panel and somebody knew, but it was a troll up at ODS chat saying that I called ODS job. This is how lies be spread. Only for ODS to have to correct them that that's not the case. Remember, just a month or two ago, I was on Lady Nika's panel and Billy Goat Rod got up there swearing that I doxed Lady Nika's kids. Only for Lady Nika to have to come through and say that's not true. Y'all, it's a lot of new people that love to just pin any old thing on me that they have not a single receipt or proof of. Why? To fit your narrative? And then you have to think of it. Do you think that people are really that stupid that Lady Nika would have let me dox her kids and she would still be okay with me? Y'all think that that's really how Lady Nika will operate? Y'all think the ODS will really have me out here calling his jobs and still be okay with me? Y'all think that's really how ODS would operate? If that's what y'all think, if that's what y'all think of them, then that's a shame. Done accused me of all types of bullshit. And I'm like, no. But that's what you get when you got these new people and primarily these little trolls that was not here at all, but just be throwing lies around, carrying lies because that's what they heard somebody else say. Y'all ridiculous. But one thing that you can say that you was around to see, you can say that you was around to see Rico lose his job. And y'all can for certain know who had a hand in that. I saw people trying to spin a narrative and say, well, he didn't call Rico's job. No, he didn't call Rico's job. Rico said it was about a no call, no show. People was like, well, how do we know he really even had a job? What? So now he got to prove he had a job? How else was he paying for whatever he need to pay for? Good morning, D Ham. Good morning, everybody. Please like my video. I'm like, the man done lost his job. Now he got to prove that he lost it. What he got to do? Show y'all a pink slip? What he got to do? Get on live and call his damn job so that they could say, no, you fired. I mean, I think it's ridiculous. This is like the epitome of somebody putting on for the camera, doing it for the camera, doing it for YouTube, no matter what the situation is or how it's going to affect other people. And I think this right here really, really hit close to home to me because y'all, it ain't fell off of, on me that this exact thing with what happened to Rico was the exact thing that people were hell bent to do to me. Oh, you best believe. You best believe I understand and I relate to Rico on so many levels. Wanting so bad to get YouTube clout and to get YouTube clicks and views and to get YouTube praise that you will go and file false reports to try to get me locked up. That you will have a WhatsApp group where all of y'all passing along information and all this bullshit trying to get me locked up. But, you know, that happened. It was a bunch of women doing that. And y'all just act like that ain't never even happened. Y'all, when I sit back and I watch the very person that tried to hem me up just like this, what just happened to Rico, and I see her dance around with wrenches and stuff and just dancing. Yesterday, throwing Rico's Cash App up in chats and things like that. And I'm thinking to myself, girl, now you care to be putting his Cash App around because he done lost his job because somebody did the same shit with malicious intent that you tried to do. All I could do is roll my eyes in disgust. But then for me to see in one chat, She throwing out Rico's cash out for Rico to get cash out sent to him since he done lost his job. But then in the next chat, she over there cheering on the person that caused Rico's unemployment. Make it make sense. Which side are you really on? Or are you just dancing around here just for some recognition? Now, either you agree with what was done or you disagree with what was done. But never forget that that's the exact same thing that you tried to do. Girl, it's unbelievable when I see these people. And I'm like, wow, huh? But the fact that now this dude got to try to find a new job and it's just a very inconvenient situation. All for it to be an apology on the screen as if that's going to take away what was done. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that many of the women up in that crew chat probably encouraged him to do that. Y'all, it's almost like PR. Like Olivia Pope trying to clean up stuff. Honestly, this is the reason why I felt like Billie Jean came out wanting to do this production all of a sudden. I mean, like, out of all the times to try to do your production, Billie Jean, you want to do a new production to clean up this mess? Good morning, Miami Popo. You want to do your production to clean up this mess? I mean, you cleaning it up for who? Because it still ain't going to change anything. Then I saw where people talk about the beef sector is spoken. The beef sector could speak however they want. If I don't want my content used, that's my right. Nobody owns my content but me. And again, I believe that that's the most that I could do. Because Rico said that he didn't want no parts. And I think it's crazy that when Rico said he didn't want no parts and somebody had a nerve to send him a $10 cash out, that was a slap in the damn face. A $10 cash out. Meanwhile, it looked like the dude might have to depend on his damn YouTube channel for here on out until he can find another job. I'm like, oh my God. A complete slap in the face. But I stated, I can't be bought. I can't be bought. My content can't be bought. Quite frankly, I think enough damage has been done, and I honestly don't need anybody with a biased lens trying to weave a narrative together. No, the narrative is what it is. Dog Killer News was being petty as hell. He was being emotional as hell. And instead of him picking up the phone to call that dude, he did all this. That escalated into all of this. That's the fact of the matter. And I don't need no production to weave and spin anything that I ain't already just saw with my own eyes. Miami Popo said, who sent it? Girl, does it matter who sent it? No. What does who's sending it? What does that matter? Rico refunded it because it was a slap in the face. I don't know if it matters who sent it. The fact is, $10 ain't worth using that man content when he over there unemployed And now he got another court hearing coming up. I think they said on the September 20th or 30th. Sometimes I do feel like Billie Jean is the Olivia Pope over there. Because she damn sure will come through with a damage control video in a minute. And all our damage control production. And all I saw with that video yesterday that he did was damage control. Damage control. Because everybody is looking at him sideways. Everybody. Everybody. But again, for a man to be so emotional to go through doing all of this, but yet when a woman is emotional up on here at any point, she just an angry black bitch. Okay. The woman who is typically emotional because she has hormones and things like that happening, she an angry black bitter bitch. But when a man have to get on here and admit that he was overly emotional and he went too far with somebody, oh, he's a stand-up guy. He's a stand-up guy. He did the right thing. He's great. He's a good man. He's a good man. Why he can't be an angry, bitter black bitch? I'm just asking. I'm just asking y'all. Good morning, Black Pearl. Y'all, it's quite interesting to see how y'all maneuver and what y'all allow and what y'all don't. And I know people get tired of this men versus women mess. I understand. But you have to state the obvious. When you see the obvious happening, you have to. You will have to be blind not to see. You will have to be blind not to see that this whole thing ain't a good look. And it's just like when I had to do my video dragging Lippy Hippie the other night. And I told her I wasn't trying to turn everybody on against him. He turned everybody against him because everybody saw what he did and saw how out of hand that was. And again, that was his friend. That was his friend. Now, what I do know is that no video is going to change what happened. I was honestly shocked that he was talking about that he going to do another live today and he going to go through because he got to address people and all this. And I'm thinking to myself, didn't you just apologize? And now you already planning your next video about what you going to do to other people? So you mean to tell me today you doing this theatrical apology for how you did Rico, only to then promote your next video that I guess you're going to do today, and then what you going to do? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But y'all, they say that these men remind them of their sons. He's the same age as my son. I got a son his age. Yeah, he just reminds me of one of my boys. What do Rico remind you of your son? What about Rico? Do he remind you of your son? Maybe not. But yes, I stand in solidarity with Rico, and I don't want my content played in the production. That's how I feel. Honestly, that's the least that I could do. And I think that everybody should feel that way. Because again, I think that it's crazy. Billie Jean ain't never dropped down up in this chat. Billie Jean ain't never left a comment on a post. Billie Jean ain't never came over and said, hey, how in the hell are you? Billie Jean ain't never been over here showing an inkling of support. But for her to think that she could just come over here like a kleptomaniac and just be swiping and downloading videos up off my channel so that she could use for her own game, so that she could spin whatever narrative she trying to spin, is ridiculous. Get your sticky fingers off my video. Get your sticky fingers, your sticky hands off my damn video. You ain't even come over here and speak. Could at least left a comment and said, hey, can I borrow a little piece of this video? I mean, something. Hell, that's only right. Yes, Ray Triggs, her sticky fingers. But here swiping people video and shit. No, you need to ask. But just the fact that you didn't ask says enough. And it's crazy, y'all, because I ain't even gonna lie. One of the main reasons, or at least one of the first and main reasons why me and what they call it, Sean call it a home invader. The home invader. One of the main reasons that I recall Shelly getting upset with me, and this was years ago, is because Billie Jean has stole a piece of my video for one of her productions over there. And Shelly wanted me to go over there and strike Billie Jean, and I let Billie Jean make it. I said, no, I ain't going to strike her. And just the fact that I refused to strike Billie Jean back then made Shelly so mad. Because, you know, sometimes she just wants you to do what she wants you to do. Otherwise, she going to have a fit. But I refuse to do it. So, Billie Jean, I already gave you a freebie of my video. I already did that. And just to remind you, the video that you took without permission and I didn't bother you about it, it was my video about the 50 cent. Y'all remember the whole thing about Babe and the 50 cent and me reporting on it with my video, which then caused Tracy to report about it. And then Tracy and Babe fell out because Tracy reported about it. All of that. A clip of my video was used then when she did her production. And I ain't bother her. She didn't come over here and ask. She didn't give me no type of payment, nothing. She just used it for the production, and I allowed it. That's the only freebie that you can get from me, Billie Jean. You already got your freebie. And your production trying to show how Tracy and Babe initially fell out, you used my video without my permission, and I didn't bother you, even though Shelly was pissed off and Shelly wanted me to go over there and get you. Shelly was like, go get her. Go get her. Get your video from over there. I'll let you have it. But today is a new day. Today is a new day. You're going to have to ask me for my video. And just the fact that you ain't even asked, and the fact that you don't offer no type of support over here, that make me feel like you just want to use me, Billie Jean. And I don't like to be used. I don't like to be used. So yeah, that's how I feel. People was like, well, just let it use it for the sector. Just let it use a piece of the video for the sector. No, thank you. I already gave up a piece of video for the sector years ago. Years ago. Even Room Shaker was like, well, this could be for some good promotion. It could be for promotion for you. I don't need Billie Jean to promote me. I don't need no promotion from no damn Billie Jean. When Room Shaker told me it could be promotion for me, I was looking at Room Shaker like, what? Promotion? I don't need no promotion from Billie Jean. I was here before she was here. I was over here when Billie Jean was over there in Lipstick Alley. I was here when Billie Jean was at Lipstick Alley typing away, leaving paragraphs and shit. I was over here creating content when Billie Jean was over there. I don't need no damn promotion from no Billie Jean. But this is the thing that I be noticing with the new people because they don't know the history. So Room Shaker really do believe that me letting Billie Jean use my video is gonna be helpful to me and it's gonna grow my channel. No, it's not. The same people that's gonna be up in there watching Billie Jean video, they already over here. Them same folk is already over here watching the videos, thumbsing up my video, whatever. Like, I don't know. Maybe Room Shaker think that if I let her use my video, then my subscriber count gonna go up. No, girl. Good morning, Dre Day. No. But then I had to break it down to Room Shaker, y'all, where Room Shaker eventually understood. Because I have witnessed Room Shaker she has planned like competitions and contests over there up at the hell sector. And Room Shaker is such a stickler about people supporting her, where she said that in some of her competitions, you have to be a member to her channel in order to compete. When I first heard her say that mess, that you got to be a member of her channel to compete, or you have to be a supporter that done been up in her chat and she see you often. That's the only way you could get up in her competition. She be having rules like that over there when it relates to her challenges because she don't want to sow into the people that haven't sown into her. Good morning, Donna Hughes. And I mean, even though it was funny the first couple of times I heard her talk about it in that way, I couldn't do nothing but just respect what she was saying, because if she giving away prize money, she has every right to decide who she want to give away her prize money to. And she said that she only want to give it to the people who support her or to the people who are members to her, etc. And so once I explained it to her about how Billie Jean don't even come over here to support at all, but quick to just bar people video and shit, then Room Shaker understood where I was coming from. Once I explained it to her from the perspective of support or lack thereof, of support in my channel or lack thereof, then she had a better understanding of what I was talking about. She said she got it. She said she still wish that I would just do it for the sector. But y'all, no thank you. I'm not doing it for the sector because at the end of the day, I feel like it's going to be damage control. I don't think it's going to change anything. Rico's still going to be in this predicament, y'all, and I just think it went too far and it's fucked up. I'm happy though that it did come out, because I kept seeing everybody saying that Sean had a hand in this, that what happened. Sean didn't have no parts with this. I'm telling y'all, when I was in that open Zoom the other night, Sean wasn't pleased by this. He was not in agreement with this. And that's why it just kind of made me chuckle. The different people who was doing commentary saying that Sean put the battery and Dog Killer News back to do all this. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I said, with all this mess that done happened, Sean wants to be the furthest away from this. Only for Fi Baby to go live last night and confirm that Sean don't want no parts. Fi Baby said that Sean was over there cussing out King Roman News, which I'm not shocked, because I know what I heard him say about it in the open Zoom. He don't even want to be associated with no bullshit like this. And that was my first thought. It was interesting to me because last year for the whole Vegas thing, remember Sean, Cap, and Rebel, they all hung out with Dog Killer News. They hung out with Dog Killer News. They went to the Grand Canyon. They was over there hiking, doing all this kind of stuff. Only for him to do this bull mess to Rico. Ain't that about a bit? I'm curious to know if any of them want to be up on a trip with him after he done did some mess like this. I'm curious to know if any of them want to go with him next time on the Grand Canyon. With this emotional bullshit that he pulled, he likely to take your ass to the Grand Canyon, get emotional, and push your ass off of there. Push your ass off the damn Grand Canyon. Then you gonna be on 2020 in 48 hours. Everybody trying to figure out where in the fuck you disappeared to at the Grand Canyon. Well, you disappeared because you was at the Grand Canyon with his ass and he got emotional and reacted. He reacted, got emotional for a click in the view, and pushed your ass the fuck up off of there. I told them, I said, y'all better be careful. Y'all don't need to be doing no Grand Canyon, no hike, no nothing with the likes of this person. Before you wind up missing. Because if Rico was his friend and that's what he did to Rico, and they met multiple times, y'all met him that one time, stayed in the Airbnb with him. Child, y'all better be careful. But yes, so my babe said that Sean was cussing out Dog Killer News, and I still need proof that the dog is still with us. I still need proof about that. But I'm gonna ask around definitely to get more information for y'all. But I did want to come here this morning and give y'all my point of view, give y'all my 2 cents about what I saw, about how I felt, about how this apology really ain't gonna change a damn thing. But everybody applauded. Oh, he took accountability. Oh, he took accountability. That's great. This man was live and you could see it in his eyes. He was so happy. I guess. I motherfucking guess. But yeah, well, y'all, let me go ahead and bring this to a close. I've been here with you for an hour and a half. Please like the video if you haven't. If you got here late, definitely red ball to the beginning. It's definitely worth the watch. Definitely worth the look-see. But either way, I'll holler at y'all later. We made it to Friday. We made it to the end of a new work week. This one just kind of feel bittersweet because we made it to the end of the work week and Rico lost his job off some petty bullshit. Y'all, take care. Be blessed. Don't stress. And I'll holler at y'all later. Bye.